goodness. Oh my goodness. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. So you know what we're about to do. We're going to be talking about this YSL shenanigans. And I have to tell you, you know what? I broke down, y'all. I went to Vegas over Thanksgiving. I bet the whole house. I bet the whole house on this trial being over today. And I'm just going to tell y'all that this is all a green screen. I'm actually living. I'm living at the back seat of my car now. I can't believe we're still on this trial. Oh my gosh. But I do want to say this. I feel like because we've invested so much in it, we're kind of like, hurry up and get done, hurry up and get done. I think the jury is probably doing the right thing. I do think the jury is probably doing the right thing by taking their time. Now, granted, these questions they keep asking, they're giving me allergies with these questions. I'm kind of over these questions y'all asking. Get to it. Let's start throwing some people in jail or getting some people free, one or the other. But I can kind of understand what they're doing, but I'm not going to pretend like I fully agree with it, because I feel like this case is definitely not 3 days, and we're almost going into the fourth day. Tomorrow will be the fourth day of deliberation. And I can't say that I agree with that 100%, but it is what it is. But also today, you may not have heard Sara Boone, the woman that zipped her boyfriend up in the suitcase. She was sentenced today. She was sentenced to life in prison in Florida. Spoiler alert, right? However, at the end, or before she was sentenced, they had witnesses give impact statements, like his mom, I think his sister, his daughter. They all gave impact statements about what they thought. And then Sara Boone came up there. Oh, and some other people gave impact statements about Sara Boone and things that she's done since she's been in jail, so on and so forth. But apparently her impact statement was cuckoo bananas. So but I didn't watch it. I know. I should have, but I didn't. I heard it was bad. It was on the screen, but I was doing some work today. So I said, we're going to watch it together. But guess what? I'm not going to watch it alone. I got somebody here for y'all. Y'all asked for her, and I brought her back. Taylor Umbridge, how are you doing? You're muted, love. Unmute yourself that we might know you.
I feel like I'm at work because I'm always muted. I join the calls. But hey, everybody. How's it going?
Absolutely fantastic. Good to see you now, Taylor. Now, real quick, Taylor Umbridge, give us a real quick lay of the land for those that don't know, who have not been blessed with your presence before. Tell us who you are, what your channel's about, and why they need to get on over there and go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. If I can have the moderators drop her link in the chat, by the way. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So I'm Taylor Umbridge. I am a mother of 4 and an aspiring law student. So right now I'm just working from home, doing my Black person's job every day. And on the side, I am creating content. I honestly didn't know that trial watching was going to be my niche, but it turns out this is what I'm good at, and people like to listen to me talk. I create a bit of humorous content. I bring a little levity to the YSL trial over on TikTok. And then I've also just recently started a new series here on YouTube called Taylor Talks, where you're going to hear me go through different lawsuits that have been filed, court cases, and just recent events. So if you think that if you have something that you want me to cover, I'm more than happy to do so. Just let me know in any of my comments, and make sure you like and subscribe on all platforms.
I love it. And the moderators and I will make sure we drop your links and the such in the chat in a moment as well. But yeah, definitely appreciate you. I appreciate you stopping through today. Now, wait, I didn't know you were a law student. So what year are you?
I'm not a law student yet. I'm an aspiring law student.
Law student. Okay.
Absolutely. So I just took my LSAT for the second time in November. I got a score that I like. So I am finishing up my college applications to press send before the end of the year.
I love it. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. And I want to hear, we want to follow up on this journey. I want to see how the journey is going, but I also want to see how does any of this stuff that we're watching now on this side of law school play into what's going to be happening in law school, and of course, after the fact. So love it. Thank you so much. Now, have you been keeping up with Sara Boone at all?
So I have been watching from the bushes. So I know the overarching issues and kind of what's going on, but I haven't been knee deep into the details.
I got you. Well, we watched a little bit of it, and this is the woman in Florida that somehow or another zipped her inebriated boyfriend into a suitcase.
Mhm.
I was looking at some suitcases in my basement this weekend. I'm like, there is absolutely positively no way I could have done that. But I digress. So she was sentenced, I'm sorry, she was found guilty. And this is the woman that had a lot of issues even in the buildup because she fired, I want to say it was like 9 attorneys or 8. And the 9th one is the one that brought her to the finish line. She had lots of issues with filing motions, handwriting motions.
Oh.
It was crazy. But today she was sentenced. And spoiler alert, she was sentenced to life in prison.
Mm.
But apparently she gave an impact statement that I was reading the chat, and it just looked like the impact statement was cuckoo bananas. So I just said, let's just check it out together, you and I. I've not actually, I haven't heard it. So we're going to find it out together. And I'm a little bit nervous because I'm like, Sarah is kind of wild. So we are going to find out what she said. All right, let's get this party rocking and popping. Let's go. Make sure it's nice and loud. I'm going to back up just a little smidgen to make sure we got a little bit of, let me know if you can hear.
Ms. Boone, you could be seated. You've been previously sworn. You may inquire, sir.
All right, just state your name again.
Sara Boone.
All right. Now, this is unlike a trial, so you're allowed to speak in a narrative form, as well as I understand you have taken some notes or written a letter that you want to read from, and then you want to speak to the court after that.
Yes.
Before we get too far, I'm going to stop. Please understand that his family is in the courtroom. So the man that she murdered, his mom, I think his brothers, sisters, and he had a big camp in that courtroom. So just know that these people are listening to her talk in 4K. And it was, now that I did see. All right. Just want to build up a little bit of suspense. Let's go cause some trouble. Let's go.
This is actually an edited version of. I had a lot to say. I've had a lot of time to think about things, and I didn't really know how to put it on paper. And I didn't know how much I could say or how little I should say. So what I have here is, like I said, an edited version. But I would like to read the more important parts that I feel that everyone should know that wasn't said in my actual trial. And on top of what I have on paper, I have, this is just the tip of the tip of the tip of the iceberg. So I wanted to read this, and then if I may, I would like to address everyone in my apology on top of my statement.
You may proceed, ma'am.
Kintu Sukuroi is a kind of Japanese ceramic style which means to repair with gold. In this tradition, when a ceramic piece breaks, an artisan will fuse the pieces back together again using liquid gold or gold dust lacquer. So rather than being covered up, the breaks become more obvious and a brilliant new piece of art emerges from the brokenness. It embraces flaws, weakness, and imperfections, and also teaches the essence of resilience. Every crack in a ceramic piece is a part of its history, and each piece becomes more beautiful because it has been broken. This is the wisdom of Kintu Sukuroi.
Do you see where she's going?
I can't yet. Like, I'm trying.
Oh
Broken
my gosh.
back together. What's happening?
I haven't heard it, but I'm theorizing. She's saying that she is, because I know they presented an idea that the man had beat her a lot. She had battered spouse syndrome. So I guarantee you she's going to probably try to couch this as she's beaten and broken, but she's better. She's more lovely because she's overcome these this tragedy of being a battered spouse. I bet you that's what she's trying to go to.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, I did hear I did watch the trial, so I did watch this trial, and that was part of her defense, was that he had beat her. Therefore, when she got him zipped in the suitcase, that was her way of getting him back for the physical violence he had exerted on her. But she didn't like call the police or run away or anything like that. She just left him in the suitcase and mocked him. So that's where lots of the problems came in. But anyway, let me just finish up. I might be wrong because I've been wrong before. Let's go.
In my wisdom and with all of my repairs, then, now, and ongoing, God is, has been, and will always be my artisan. All of my gold is forgiveness. This has held me together, made me shine brighter, and overcome the damage caused by George Torres, the Torres family, the justice system, Orange County Corrections Department, social media, scoundrel detectives, infamy, defamation, ongoing constitutional rights violations, second-degree murder, forced into being pro se.
I gotta stop. She just blamed everybody on the living planet.
Oh my gosh! I just wrote down victim blaming.
Well, you know what? I don't think she blamed Trump. Trump
Right.
got away. You know what? There you go. Somebody can actually say that Trump did not make him do it. I got to back up. She literally blamed the family. Wait, hold on. Did you hear that? She blames the Torres family. Again, these are the people. They're sitting right there, about 10 feet away from her. Oh my goodness. Okay, I got backed up just a little smidgen.
Up, the breaks become more obvious, and a brilliant new piece of art emerges from the brokenness. It embraces flaws, weakness, and imperfections, and also teaches the essence of resilience. Every crack in a ceramic piece is a part of its history, and each piece becomes more beautiful because it has been broken. This is the wisdom of Kintu Sukuroy. In my wisdom and with all of my repairs, then, now, and ongoing, God is, has been, and will always be my artisan. All of my gold is forgiveness. This has held me together, made me shine brighter, and overcome the damage caused by George Torres, the Torres family, the justice system, Orange County Corrections Department, social media, scoundrel detectives, infamy, defamation, ongoing constitutional rights violations, second-degree murder, forced into being pro se. Just as gold is very precious, forgiveness is invaluable.
Wow. I don't mean to keep stopping, but she literally blamed everybody. She literally blamed the second-degree murder, which she was charged with, as part of her problem. Wow.
I'm questioning, who is she forgiving? Is she saying that she's forgiving herself, or is she saying she's forgiving them for causing her to be in this situation?
I don't know. I don't know. I know during the trial, there was innuendos that the family wasn't really supportive of their relationship, so on and so forth. So maybe she's blaming them, maybe she forgives them, but it still doesn't make sense for what happened. Because please understand, like, social media, the police, the second-degree murder charge, detectives, all that stuff would never have come into the play if you hadn't left the man in the suitcase.
Right.
If you taking the man out the suitcase, your only issue would be George Torres and his family at best.
How did the man get in the suitcase? Like, I got to go back and watch this, because this is crazy.
You got to go back. It is he was a very small man. He was wiry. I mean, I'm like, I'm 5'7", but I got a little bit of mass to me. It's gonna be a big suitcase you put me in. But he was a very wiry man, and apparently, allegedly, they had been out drinking. It was pretty messed up, and they were playing hide and seek, and he was allegedly like zipping himself in the suitcase, and he was trying to like hide in the suitcase, and she just kind of caught him and zipped him up in a quick way.
I mean, that was convenient that he's just in a suitcase after all of this time of these things that he's doing. Okay, I'm just
right. No, I agree. Okay, all right, we got to.
Okay, sorry.
This is crazy. Tell me if you want me to stop though, for real.
Forgiveness is not an attempt to change or forget who, what, or how you've lived through to be so gold, but an act of grace, humility, and considerable self-compassion to be set free from sorrow. Withholding forgiveness denies your brilliance and adds even greater grief and deeper heartache, irreparable cracks on top of the already that no one deserves, no matter the pain or disappointment, untruths or injustice. It doesn't matter. As the more broken you are, even though now different than before, you've become more outstanding and more extraordinary. Above all, when you let go of blame, misunderstandings, excuses, give up your anger and cease from resentment, this is forgiven. And when you forgive, you heal. And when you heal, you move forward. My goal begins with George Torres and
Who is she forgiving? I'm sorry. I can't think of who in the world she needs to forgive or needs to be forgiven by her. Taylor, who are you forgiving?
It sounds like she is forgiving them for what she did. Like, this is definitely giving gaslighting, victim blaming, narcissistic behavior.
I can't, that makes no sense. And the thing is also, and maybe we need to rewind it, like literally the family, I'm gonna say it one more time, the family is sitting right there in front of them. And then this niece right here, she looked like she might be about that life. She might put some hands on you. Like, you're literally there's his mom and his daughter or sister. Like, they're right there in front of you and you're blaming them for what you did. That's nasty work. I'm sorry.
Nasty. And I saw somebody post 5'2", 103 pounds. Like, I'm
that's
115. Yeah, see, like, he and I are probably like one in the same from a man to a woman.
Stay away from any suitcases then, Taylor. We want you, don't be walking by any suitcases. I don't know. This is wild. Thank you, Raynette. Yeah, that's a wiry man right there. All right, let's see what she got. Let's see what she's gonna do for us.
Every time he slapped me, kicked, punched, spit on, raped, stabbed, choked, laughed at, pushed, pulled, dragged, whipped, tripped, stole from, lied, terrorized, threatened, humiliated, forced, degraded, made me cry. Every time he tried to end me, defeat, or destroy.
Can I ask, and this is, I'm not trying to be crass or anything like that, but if somebody were doing all of those things in your life, would you still be like, what's going on with you that you remain with somebody that has done all of those things? Is that a fair question?
Stockholm syndrome.
That's about the best I got. Like, why are you still here with this guy? If he was that bad of a dude. And now, granted, they had some police reports that they had some little tussle. So there's, I'm not making that up. I think she's probably right about that. But why are you still with them?
Usually there's an underlying like issue there, or there's some type of like traumatic or trauma bonding that has occurred between the victim and the person that is inflicting the pain, and they don't want to go.
Right.
So we just never know. Everybody's situation is different. I wish if that was really happening to her, I wish she would have done more instead of this. But hey, life happens.
Yeah, I wish she had done the right thing. Okay, fine. You zipped him up, unzip it, push it against the wall so he has a hard time getting out, and you just make a run for it. Get out of there. Why are you still there? And then she went upstairs and went to sleep and then find him till the next morning. Like, and I don't know if you ever saw the videos of her mocking him while he was in the suitcase, asking to be let out. She videotaped herself mocking him, telling him that she wasn't gonna let him out. Like, ma'am, you could have not left him in there and still got away safe.
Exactly.
But okay, let's finish this up. This is wild.
I forgive George for beating me senseless, for trying to sleep because I had to go to work or my son's field trip the next day, for ruining my deceased family's heirlooms, traditions, and keepsakes, my son's furniture, destroying the television we watched together, for wrecking our townhome by breaking windows, punching holes in the walls and doors, ramming his entire body into glass doors, kicking in my front and back door over and over and over, for breaking or removing the locks from all of the doors and sometimes the knobs altogether, so I had nowhere to feel safe, including the sacred space of my son's room where he beat me bloody on his bed. For terrorizing and threatening my blind and deaf dogs by leaving the gate open I built to keep them safe, telling me he hoped I'd find their bloated dead body in the pond or scrape their remains off of the pavement, for kicking them off of the bed and throwing across the room because they were trying to protect me. For threatening to make me unrecognizable to my
Wow.
son by breaking all of the bones in my face, like his brother Moses did to him after he kept seeing all of the bruises from George beating me, like all of the times their father beat their mother. For all of the drunken rages and fist fights with so many neighbors when wandering into their apartment.
Wow.
She just aired everybody business.
She got brother Moses. Wow. Everybody catches strays today. Wow. Sarah said, I'm about to go to jail, but all y'all gonna get it. All of y'all gonna need therapy when I get done.
Yeah.
Wow.
Y'all getting this
Wow.
smoke. Wow.
Wow. She said, wow. Okay. I think we can all agree this episode is brought to you by the word wow. Goodness
During
gracious.
hunting expeditions after I had escaped. For drowning me in liquor and wine because I didn't want to drink, causing me to urinate on myself, then butting the end of the bottle in my face, giving me 2 black eyes and a bloody nose. For making me experience what it is to be sodomized. Threatening to kill my friends and the neighbors when they checked on me to make sure I was alive and in one piece. For threatening to burn down our townhome and set my car on fire because I got a job. For holding me hostage on weekends my son was supposed to come over by keeping my keys around his neck, my phone in his crotch, and a butcher knife stuck in the middle of the table as a warning not to ask anything or try to leave. For stabbing me in the leg and not letting me call 911 for an ambulance or seek help, where I nearly bled to death until I concocted a lie to save him from being arrested. For destroying my phone with a hammer because...
Why is that noble? And you might have said it when you said Stockholm, but if he stabbed you, and I remember her telling that story where he stabbed her and apparently she was bleeding out and she was about to pass out. But when the police came, she came up with a story about that she had cut herself where they were like playing swords or something. Why did you not tell them the truth if that was the reality? And now to like make yourself a victim and oh, I forgive you. That's crazy.
I don't think she ever stopped being. I mean, if these things are true, right? Because I don't know really Sarah, right? So I don't want to say that she's not been a victim at the hands of George, right? If she was
Right.
truly a victim of him, I just wish she would have advocated for herself. Like if you had those moments to truly speak out about what was going on, I wish that she would have advocated for herself, just to make it better. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, listening to it honestly, it's breaking my heart that if these are things that she's truly gone through, it's breaking my heart that she experienced these things.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I'm just like in awe that she's just airing it like this in court in front of everybody without remorse or I can't find the word I'm looking for.
Right. No, like again, I don't know grandma. I don't know the cousins. I don't know the niece. I don't know his daughter. One of his daughters was on the screen. I don't know these people. Why are you putting them on in 4K? Now you can still dog out George if you want to. I still don't think that's appropriate. But what the family do? Well,
Yeah.
what did the family do? And now everybody up there said they forgave her, as far as I understand. Mom forgave her for killing her son. They didn't run her over. They didn't dog her out. But wow, this is pretty wild. What?
my son called. For me experiencing ever being arrested and after today, prison. For beating me almost blind, crushing my occipital lobe. For having me experience what it means to see stars like in the cartoons, where a character has a tall lump on their head. I had that too, and many times. For dragging me downstairs by my hair in the middle of the night just to sit next to him. For taking my car driving drunk with my debit card to buy more alcohol while I slept, even after I kindly explained the importance of my car to take my son to school foremost, me to work, and he to his batterers intervention classes and probation officer meetings, where I would be forced to sit for hours in the parking lot waiting for him. For causing me so much trauma and pain, mentally, physically, emotionally, I had to be hospitalized more than once. For destroying my reputation and integrity, for my M for murderer scarlet letter, not letting me feel safe to live, talk to other people, spend time with my son, have a job, friendships, simply go to the bathroom with the door closed, or go to sleep soundly or comfortably. I forgive George for lying, for him trying in so many ways, so many times, to end me with his terrifying love.
Wow. I forgive George. Wow. Yeah, I don't get it. And I agree with Mo right here. Like, and you said it too, Taylor. She needed to advocate for herself. If let's say that a quarter of the stuff that she said, this man has actually done. Why were you still in that house with him? Like you should have been advocating for yourself and your son to get away from him. If this were true. And the stuff that you said is pretty gruesome, pretty gnarly. Why are you still there? But were you about to say something?
I'm speechless. Like I would have at least thought, like, if that is your story, why not trust your attorneys to get your story out, get it in front of the folks, and get it in front of the jury, get it in front of everybody to tell your story. Like, why would you put it on display? Like it just, I don't know. A piece of me is starting to feel like, okay, some of this may be a little disingenuous. And a part of me is like, my heart's broken for her, because I'm like, I hope you didn't go do that.
Now, her attorney did try to put a lot of this out there, but it's really hard to overcome it when all the prosecution has to do is show a video of you mocking. Like, don't quote me on this. It's like 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes of you mocking him while he's saying, Taylor, let me get out of here. Help me out, Taylor. Let me out. And you just throwing epitaphs, just throwing insults and mocking him. And then it's going to be hard for you to fix that. So, I mean, I'm not justifying anything, but it's like, there's not a lot of stories you can tell and then show that and overcome it. So,
Got it.
I mean, the attorney tried. I mean, the guy did try his best, but yeah, you zipped him in. Oh, I forgot. He had bruises on his body. Come to find out, she didn't zip it all the way up, and he was getting his arm out, and she took a bat and was hitting him with the bat to get his arm back in so she could zip it up properly.
Okay, so she was like torturing him.
Right. Yeah, there was. It wasn't just. Yeah, I remember that part because he had and she tried to explain how she was jabbing it with him. Like, yeah, you swung on that rascal. You swung on that dude. That's what you did. So,
I would have respected. You know what? I experienced a lot of pain. I did what I did. I'm sorry, and that could have been the end of it. But this right here, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can respect this.
Yeah, because she put a lot of information out here.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
I also forgive the Torres family, his mother and father foremost, also his 2 ex-wives and daughters, all for knowing who George was capable of and has done in the past, his history of violence and where he learned it, then to keep turning a blind eye when I would ask for help. All of his siblings, including Pharrell Torres, who is now on his way to prison for stabbing.
Everybody catches strays.
Left and right.
Auntie, mi tío, abuela, everybody getting it. Everybody getting it tonight. Wow.
Duck.
I'm sorry. I need a shot. I need a shots fired sound effect. Wow. She said, y'all knew who he was? Now, granted, wow. Everybody getting drugged. She said, I'm about to go to jail, but y'all going to be the ones looking sideways at the grocery store. Wow. And now she about to put the brother on blast. Hold on, let me back up a little bit. She got the brother going to jail. Ooh.
I am for murderer scarlet letter, not letting me feel safe to live, talk to other people, spend time with my son, have a job, friendships, simply go to the bathroom with the door closed, or go to sleep soundly or comfortably. I forgive George for lying, for him trying in so many ways, so many times, to end me with his terrifying love.
Terrifying love.
I also forgive the Torres family, his mother and father foremost, also his 2 ex-wives and daughters, all for knowing who George was capable of and has done in the past, his history of violence and where he learned it, then to keep turning a blind eye when I would ask for help. All of his siblings, including Farrell Torres, who is now on his way to prison for stabbing the mother of their baby in the side of her head. For everyone who knew what George was doing to me, sometimes how and when, but allowed and enabled. I forgive them for caring too late. I hope they all ask themselves while quiet and comfortable in bed at night the uneasy question, what could I have done to stop this from happening to both of them? And after all the time Sarah tried to, by asking for help from all of us and so many times.
This woman is low down.
How were they supposed to know that you were gonna unalive him, lady?
Okay, great question. How, because she's bailed him out of jail. So how is Abuela supposed to be responsible when you're the one bailing him out of jail? How is mi tío supposed to be responsible when you're the one posting him out of there? Girl.
Wait a minute. So did he actually go to? She went to jail for domestic violence for DV.
He's gone to jail before. Yes, they've had some spot. They had some history. So this is not, this is not the first time anybody's hearing about these issues. So they've had some history. So a lot of the stuff she's saying is probably not. She might be embellishing a little bit, but it's probably not much. He probably did do a lot of stuff. But my point is, she bailed him out of jail. Like the time where she said he took the keys and put them around his neck. She bailed him out of jail. He got arrested that time.
Oh, wow.
And she bailed him out of jail. Like,
come on, Sarah.
Why are you blaming mama and dad? What mommy and papi do? What is that? Lord have mercy. I'm so glad I didn't want to listen to this today.
What?
Wow. Take the wheel, Jesus.
Another great contributor of my gold is social media, with its greed, insensitivity, deception, obvious exploitation, and advantageous gain from my criminal case as a whole, and for sentencing me by anticipation as a result of ignorance and hate, conjured and fabricated by the organized crime that is social media, which can...
What we do? What, baby, what did we do? What part did you do, Taylor? Did you go get the suitcase out the basement?
No, I must have delivered a baseball bat or something.
I must have. Like, what part did I do? What did I do? For real? How the best live chat on the internet getting indicted? We already co-conspirators in the YSL trial. Now we down here in Florida catching the luggage case. Oh, Lord have mercy! Take the wheel.
She said we were organized crime. Like, girl, I'm getting paid enough. They're not even sending dollars this way for me to be in any type of organization. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I guess you know what she's trying to do, though. She's trying to throw RICO on us.
Yes, gotta be. Gotta be. Everybody in the comments, you an unindicted co-conspirator at this point.
Go ahead.
Check your mailbox. You might be getting, or check the door. It might be the sheriff to subpoena.
There you go. I need a door knock. FBI, open up. Oh, man, this is craziness. Wow. Okay.
Condemned me in the court of global public opinion since the beginning. My family law case is the new prey waiting to be picked apart and pillaged from me being made infamous by social media in my criminal case. It simply seems I cannot forgive and be forgiven and move forward.
Okay. Because I got a bad feeling, Taylor, she's going to invoke Christianity into this discussion. And in a moment, I'm gonna probably need y'all to call my pastor, because they're gonna be like, Jason went off again. Jason went off the deep end. Being forgiven and suffering the consequences of your sin or of your behavior are not synonymous. If I hit somebody, I can ask for forgiveness, but that does not mean that you're not punching me in my eyeball. I mean, there are consequences that come. What do we have to forgive you for? She has confused this entire thing. Like, what do we need to forgive you for? I don't need to forgive her. Do you need to forgive her for anything?
Sarah, I didn't even know what was going on. I just showed up today and they said we was watching you. I didn't do nothing, girl.
Well, we forgive you for not paying attention. See, there you go. Now you got forgiveness. This
Okay.
is craziness. This is madness. Okay, please do not let her invoke Christianity, Lord, please.
Social media has made me a pariah. It has caused great oppression and undeniable disadvantages, especially by broadcasting and manipulating my cases online. In my criminal case, as a result, my opportunities to be given a fair, proper, and uninfluenced, successful conclusion was heavily depleted and poisoned. I forgive them. Also, all of the media tycoons for not having a life of their own, trying so desperately to make themselves seem so right by making me appear so wrong. Forgiveness for prejudgment, ridiculous theatrics, lies, making and taking blood money from my and others' misfortunes, accidents, and catastrophes.
Y'all, Taylor, you've been taking blood money from lies, misfortunes, and catastrophes. What is
Sarah,
she talking about?
I have no idea. This is a job for people. Like, people do media, girl. Like, some people go to school for it. Like, this is legal.
Right. This is not a cartel. This is not like an illegal enterprise. We can give our reactions about this, Sarah. Wow. She done blamed everybody and put everybody out there. I'm waiting for her to say Jason got crusty left toenail. Next. I mean, good gracious. She putting everybody on, but everybody catches strays today.
So we were just supposed to let you zip this man. So the world was just supposed to let you zip this man up in a suitcase and not talk about it.
And not talk about it. I mean, the fact that just say that out loud. You zipped a whole grown adult man in a suitcase and left him there to suffocate. And nobody's supposed to say anything?
Nothing.
And they brought the suitcase into trial too. But mind you, Taylor, the trial was only about 4 days long. So you could actually probably watch the whole thing. Okay. If you ever want to watch a well-organized court, this court is very well organized in lieu of what we've seen in YSL. But no, that judge today was probably the worst because he started really late today. But everything else has been super on point. But my point is that suitcase was small. And I'm like, baby, what did we do? What did we do? I'm sorry, because my Amazon cart does not show that I got any baseball bats in it. And I don't have any suitcases in my Amazon cart or my order history. Good gravy. All right, let's go.
It's all over their hands and their keyboards. And even after all that's been said and done, theorized, hypothesized, scrutinized, and blasphemed, in my case, still no one knows me. In the end, I forgive myself for not choosing my life sooner, for not being more brave, vigilant, bolder, and outspoken, stronger, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, for being hopeless, desperate, simple-minded, weak, and inexperienced. I forgive myself for not realizing I was enduring a life of domestic violence and that the vicious cycle of never ends. I had nothing to compare to. I've never been hit by a man ever before in my life. I was raised hitting a woman was wrong and should never happen. No excuse. I forgive myself for not escaping permanently, for not fighting back sooner to save myself, my son, my dogs, home, and car. Having 20/20 hindsight, thinking of everything I could have done differently or better to avoid the outcome. I think about this every day since.
I hate to say it, but that's probably the best thing that she said so far.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, all the throwing the abuela under the bus and social media under the bus, all that stuff. The scoundrel, the scoundrel detectives, like all that stuff. This is probably the best part of it right here. This is take accountability, take responsibility, Sarah. And again, I don't want anybody to deal with domestic violence, and it does seem like she was catching a couple of hands. George was not a saint, but she didn't have to be there. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I know, her parents told her not, a man shouldn't hit a woman, but I know they told you if somebody hits you, you hit them back. So, if you, I don't know how big she is or how little he was, but baby, you could have bucked him in the eye a couple times too. I'm not pushing violence, but I'm just saying. A few of my followers, my supporters here are saying the car. Can you back it up a little bit? Did she say something?
She said she said she didn't do enough to protect herself, her son, her car, or her house.
Oh, okay.
Let me back up a little smidgen. It's hard to get back. Okay. Let's see, just right there. Okay, shout out to everybody. Yeah, shout out to everybody that's come over from Taylor's channel. Welcome to the best live chat on the internet. Good to have y'all. Thank y'all for stopping by tonight. All right, real quick, here we go.
The great possibility I would be ended as George threatened me with so many times before.
I don't know if I went back far enough.
I forgive myself for falling in love with a monster,
Darn
and
it.
no matter how grotesque, for being hopeless, desperate, simple-minded, weak, and inexperienced. I forgive myself for not realizing I was enduring a life of domestic violence and that the vicious cycle of never ends. I had nothing to compare to. I've never been hit by a man ever before in my life. I was raised hitting a woman was wrong and should never happen. No excuse. I forgive myself for not escaping permanently, for not fighting back sooner to save myself, my son, my dogs, home, and car. Having 20/20 hindsight, thinking of everything I could have done differently or better to avoid the outcome. I think about this every day since. Also, of all the good days we had together, for him at least, while I was constantly in hyperdrive, high alert, and paranoid, making sure I did everything right all the time. If not, the great possibility I would be ended as George threatened me with so many times before. I forgive myself for falling in love with a monster, and no matter how grotesque he may become, I still loved him, hoped, and forgave. I tried breaking the spell so he wouldn't be a monster.
Okay, I gotta stop there because this doesn't seem like she's giving evidence, or this doesn't seem like a witness statement. It sounds more, or impact statement. It seems more like she's trying to give evidence to the case. I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it. But go ahead.
It definitely feels like she's giving them the reasons why she did what she did. It's more of support as to I did what I did and this is why, and you all are to blame for it. I'm going to take responsibility for this piece right here, but at the end of the day, this is how I was living. So to me, it's just kind of I think she's just trying to, I guess, humanize herself. With the hope that somebody maybe feels it. But I will say one thing that she said is that she lived on heightened awareness, and the level of anxiety, I couldn't imagine living in fear like that day after day after day. I know people who've experienced DV, and I don't think that is a fake statement. And so my heart just broke all over her again when she just did that last piece.
And I believe that she probably went through some bad things. So I'm not minimizing that. However, there's one thing I just can't get over. He was in the suitcase.
In the suitcase.
All the threat was neutralized. In my opinion, you had neutralized the threat once he was in the suit. Once you zipped him up in the suitcase, the threat that he was rendering was gone, such that you even videotaped yourself mocking him and using expletives and this, that, and the other, and making fun of him while he was in the suitcase. The threat was done. That's very much akin to a child at the zoo making fun of the tiger or the lion behind the glass or the gorilla in the animal enclosure. They're safe. You're safe from them. So you can do whatever. You can walk away. She should, in my opinion, she should walk away. Go ahead.
Did she have somewhere to go? Did she have somewhere to go? And I see a lot, like Raynette, like I've been following Raynette's comments too. Was she the abuser? Was it a back and forth thing? Were they abusing one another? It's kind of where I'm leading to at this point, because it seems like at some point in time he played the victim and sometimes she did.
There was some. I think Raynette and I, we all watched this together.
Okay.
And she's right. There was a little bit back and forth. I don't know to the degree, because I'm already thinking like a man should deal with this differently. Get yourself away from her. She's acting a fool like that. Go in the basement, go in the garage, walk down the street, get away from the problem so we don't have to have this issue.
Right.
Okay. But on the same note, once you've neutralized the problem, let's say he is going upside your head, but you've locked him in the basement and there's only one door out of the basement, then you are now safe. You don't get to now take your pew pew and unload through the basement door and say, well, no, he was already neutralized. He was already no longer a threat. You know, you drove away. You went to a battered woman shelter. You went to the local church. You went to, I don't know, 24-hour Walmart and just stayed in front of the cameras. But you were safe. You can't, and I think that's really what the attorney made the point of, like, he was already neutralized.
Right.
He was already no longer a threat in the suitcase, which is crazy to say. Like, you're no longer a threat in a suitcase. Wow.
And just
All
be
right,
mindful, guys, I'm coming from the perspective of not watching the full case. So I'm just kind of absorbing what she's saying, y'all. So show me a little grace.
Oh, I think they're giving you, I hope they are. Y'all be gracious to my guests. We don't look, don't be running my guests away.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Your chat is lovely. I'm just saying, just for the sake of me just not knowing all the details, just give me a little grace.
Okay, here we go.
Monster anymore. I saw who he was inside. George made me then, now, and always love him for all of his cracks also. We made each other our own brilliant pieces of art from the cracks and repairs. Unfortunately, not all cracks can be. In all of my forgiveness, George is my greatest lesson and will forever be a part of me. I think of him every day and still speak to him when alone on the rec yard. I ask his forgiveness and that he looks for me at the gates of heaven so I can tell him how sorry I am, endlessly, and that I never stopped loving him. In all of it and still. When I first came to jail, I put my mat under my bed and cried all day and all night for months, only falling asleep from being so exhausted with grief. I wrote him letters. I wrote his family and his daughters, apologizing for asking for their forgiveness. But
I'm sorry. The same daughters that you just threw under the bus a minute ago and said your dad was an abuser and abused your mom. Okay, those daughters. The same mom that you just said y'all didn't do anything with your son. You gave me, okay, a monster. Okay, got you. This woman, this is wild.
due to fear that my life.
Say again.
She losing me.
Yeah.
Life or sons would be jeopardized, I did not send. I am sorry. I cannot begin to fathom any of their grief and sadness. Please forgive me. Almost everything reminds me of him, seeing my stab wound especially every day especially. It truly reminds me that all I really did live through. George haunts me. He is everywhere. I believe because I do still love him, think of him, and miss his laugh the most. In my heart, I know he is with me and understands that this tragedy was not intentional. I hope everyone can, his family foremost. I didn't mean for this to happen. Please wholeheartedly know that, and always, I would never. Forgive me, George. Forgive me, Torres family. Forgive me, Judge Cranick. To the entire planet, please forgive me. I graciously and humbly ask for consideration, for forgiveness to be extended instead of judgment, for reconciliation and restoration for all of us to move forward. My apology is profuse and ceaseless. Allow me, please, to brush off the muck, wipe the blood off of my face, and fix the cuts in my skin. I ask for understanding in what really happened and for how long, for second chances, repentance, and redemption, to advocate for all domestic violence survivors, to help them overcome, heal, and still hope, always, to make their voices heard, to confidently walk with all of their scars on the outside and the inside.
I got to stop for a second. Am I hearing this woman? Well, let me ask you, what are you getting from what she just said in that last minute and a half, Taylor?
She just contradicted everything that she said the minute and a half before that.
I agree there. Are you getting that she wants to be let go? Am I getting that, or am I hallucinating?
No, I don't think she wants to be let go. I think she wants everybody to turn a cheek. Just
and let her go, because she wants to be an advocate for DV victims and such like that, and that would be something that you would do outside. Like, I really think this woman thinks she's going to be let go.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
I'm like, wait, hold on. Like, I'm not getting that you're taking responsibility for what you did. Like, sure, you didn't intend it. Okay, I'll pretend like I believe that. But you do realize that there's a man that's no longer alive because of the actions that you did, and therefore you must be held accountable for said action. That's not It seems like she's ignoring that. But go ahead.
So she's reading this before the sentencing, right?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So she doesn't even know, because I'm thinking about, well, she knows she's got life. So no, okay, yeah. Now I'm following you. Sorry.
Nah, it seems like she's trying to. Yeah, this is wild.
To help them not ever become a casualty of domestic violence as so many others, to stop the abuse and maltreatment before it's too late. There is always hope, and you can survive. In my soft-spoken conclusion, I ask this: would I be the darling mother, celebrated woman of the year, if it were I who died? How many daughters, mothers, sisters, aunts, grandmothers, nieces, and friends have been because they did? I am a survivor. Learn to do good, seek justice, rebuke oppressors, defend the fatherless, plead for the widow. Isaiah 1:17.
I knew it. I knew she would bring the Bible in here. I knew it.
Protect the abused.
Ms. Boone, is that the end of your written statement?
Yes.
All right.
Gathering your thoughts.
Oh, she's about to talk. Oh, now she's about to freestyle.
All encompassing, protect the abused. Baby, why you didn't protect him?
Why didn't you just get away from him? Again, he was neutral. You locked him in a suitcase. You could have partially unzipped it and hit the streets. Left him in there and called the police and told him where he was. But you didn't do any of that stuff. You literally mocked him while he was begging to be let out.
No lie, like my mind is blown. Like I've got a lot of thoughts.
Go ahead.
I've got a lot of thoughts because I gotta go back and watch this full blown, because what the hell happened here? What the hell happened here? I need to see more of her. I need to see more. I need to hear her talk more, because at this point, honestly, it's giving bipolar personality disorder. It's giving severe mental instability, because I can't fathom that she actually experienced everything that she experienced, put him in a suitcase, and then stood up there, blamed everybody, said she was sorry, said that she loves him, but he haunts her. Like I kind of read schizophrenia all over it. So I need to watch this from the beginning.
Well, yes, and you are correct. All those things are correct. So the feelings that you have right now are only going to be ratcheted up 10x when you actually hear and watch the motions and the things that, because remember, she was trying to represent herself for the beginning part. So she was writing these long, ridiculous motions to the judge and the such like that, wanting a computer, wanting to have her phone records, this, that, and the other. Like, ma'am, you zipped the man in a suitcase. What are we talking about here? So yeah, when you do watch it, come on back and we'll have therapy time, because you might actually need it. I hate to say it. You might be like, Jason, what did I just watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, y'all, I think it's giving the abuser and it's giving the abuse. So I gotta watch it, y'all. I'm sorry.
No, I agree. 100%. I'm like, this does not make you seem more like a victim. It made you seem more like you're the one, you're the problem. You literally just threw the Torres family all their dirty laundry out in the front yard and then asked them to forgive you. Like,
and demonized him. Like, you demonized him in front of everybody, and then turned around and said that you loved him. Like, it's just, girl.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Did you want to make an oral statement?
Uh-oh.
I do.
All right,
Oh my
would you do
gosh.
that now?
Freestyle.
Make sure you share.
My state.
You know what? Thank you so much. I forgot. Let me back, because I got on my dual screen. Let me back up just a little smidgen. All right, here we go.
Daughters.
No, it didn't go away. Hold on.
As they did. I am a survivor.
All right, here we go.
Learn to do good, seek justice, rebuke oppressors, defend the fatherless, plead for the widow. Isaiah 1:17. All encompassing, protect the abused.
Ms. Boone, is that the end of your written statement?
Yes.
Now, gathering your thoughts, did you want to make an oral statement?
I do.
All right, would you do that now?
Yes, please. My statement, my verbal statement is primarily to the Torres family, to the judge, to his daughters. I know you all know who I really am and that I did care for George and that I do still love George. I know you know that we had very many good days. And I take offense to the statement of being said that this is just for a moment. Right now with me here in the courtroom in front of you all, this is just for a moment. But the moments before that, in order for me to be here, is endless. It's everlasting. The scars that I have on the inside, my outside scars have healed except for my stab wound. But this has changed me as a person to see things differently and to understand things differently and to not be weak and just try to protect yourself and forever, regardless of the time that I may receive from today, I forever will have this experience. I forever will have George Torres with me in my heart, in my mind, my body, and my soul. As he and I used to say that we were one soul split into two bodies. This is not just for a moment. It may be for everyone in this courtroom, but when I leave, this is forever. When you all leave, that this is forever. This is forever for everyone here and those who it matters to most. I am one of those who will experience this forever.
I'm just going to stop real quick because if anybody has started a drinking game for every time she said forever, they might actually be passing out at the moment. So I don't want them to pass out anymore.
Is
You
this
look
a
Trump.
spoken word? Like,
I feel like we should probably give her like, I don't know. That was really weird, and it was forever weird. It was forever strange. I'm this is wild.
it does. It just seems like a monologue. She wrote it. She rehearsed it. There is no emotion. I agree with you guys in the comments. There's no
None of it.
emotion, and the inflection in her voice it's creeping me out. Like my skin started crawling. I don't know if you saw me like moving around, but like my skin started crawling because her voice is like it's tearing me up.
Very much so. Huh. All right, let's finish it.
I'm sorry. Words do not define my shame. And I don't know what else it is that I can say and convey to the Torres family how this happened. The ifs and whys and how really don't matter. It happened, and I'm sorry. Words cannot describe. And I hope that everyone can forgive me, the Torres family most of all, and his daughters, because I know what he meant to them. And I don't think that anybody ever understood what he meant to me and I to him. And I ask for forgiveness.
Ms. Boone, I have just one or two questions, if you don't mind. And you can speak on it if you want or not. But this is a unique case, and one of the reasons it's so unique is that you were in jail for 4.5 years prior to your trial. And I understand that when you were brought up as a child, that you did have some spirituality in your family.
Oh, this is
some
wild.
church, some religion.
Always.
But I understand that you got away from that. Did you have a chance during the 4.5 years to look back at your spirituality?
Absolutely. You know, everyone supposes that this is one of the worst experiences of my life, and it's actually been one of my greatest.
So my pastor's name is Joel. A couple of people in my chat actually know my pastor. Can y'all go ahead and call Joel, because I'm gonna need some help. This woman just said that this is the greatest, and I almost know exactly where she's gonna go with this. I almost can tell you verbatim what she's about to do. And that is so nasty that what she's about to say. Oh my gosh. Taylor, what are you thinking? Rescue me, please, please. While I call Joel. Let me text Joel. Tell him come get me. Rescue me, bro.
I'm stressed out. Like I'm a little stressed out. I'm a little stressed out because, girl, what? Huh?
Oh my gosh.
I mean,
This is
I
so-
understand finding or trying to find the silver lining, trying to, you know, have your come to Jesus moment. But baby, it don't sound like you about to.
She is not going to stick this landing at all. She's not going to stick this landing at all. I know exactly what she's about to say. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Let's go.
If I were not beaten to death, I was going to work myself to death on the outside. And I never had time to get back into my Bible and to pray and to be with the Lord. And I, being here incarcerated, have had time, of course, to get closer to God, to reacquaint myself to Him and realize what it's all about. This is all temporary. And when I say temporary, I don't mean by being set free in jail or from prison or wherever else. It means being set free and temporary, meaning that you work for something higher. You work for God, that you strive for your crown to be placed upon your head by Jesus Christ by being.
Ma'am, please don't bring my Lord into this. She does realize, and maybe is very possible, Taylor. She does not realize that she's about to be sentenced to life in prison in a Florida prison by the judge that's sitting to the right of her. She might have forgot that. She might think that she's like on a job interview for like Habitat for Humanity or something. But she's about to get sentenced to life in prison. Ma'am, you're not gonna be doing a whole bunch of work except maybe what you're doing in prison. But oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Said, "You have done well, my good and faithful servant." I've always tried to be a good and faithful servant. I was just a servant as opposed to doing all that I can when my family were alive and I was going through everything up to this point.
So I think she was being a good servant when she was impersonating a luggage handler for Delta when she zipped that man up in the suitcase and left him there in the house. Ma'am, this is ridiculous. This is not what. Oh my gosh. I knew she was going to say this. I knew it. Okay.
I've become so much more closer to the Lord, and it's made me such a better person. And I hope that I am an example going forward of the Lord's light and can draw many people to me because of it.
You just pushed everybody away. You said that the world tore you down, broke you down. Now you want us to come to you like what?
I'm here to I'm gonna pick fights. I'm just here to pick fights. As a Christian, certainly there is a level that people would find the Christian is appealing. Maybe they treat their people nice, they dress nice, whatever like that. Sure, there's a level of appeal that the physical human has. But at the end of the day, I should not be drawing people to me. She literally said, I can draw people to me. Ma'am, I don't need to be in those suitcases. There ain't no suitcase big enough for your boy. So I don't need to be coming to you. You might put me in a satchel or something. I don't know. Absolutely not. No, ma'am. I should not be coming to you, Sara Boone. Therein is the rub. And therein, I think, is the problem that you don't actually know what you're talking about. And shame on that attorney for even having you denote that and explain that, because ma'am, you're just as off as you is your letter that you wrote before.
I mean,
Oh,
just led
go ahead.
her all the way into it. I think I would have had a little bit more respect for it if, you know, it was just about seeking the Lord and understanding and trying to find who you are. Because I mean, in this short period of time with this situation and you just coming out of this trial, like I find it hard to believe that you've you know, rehabilitated yourself to a point where
Right.
you
Yeah.
I can't see it. Like I think that you are still on a journey, and maybe that's what you should be talking about, your journey to get to know
Right.
the Lord and become a faithful servant and understanding what being a faithful servant means, because clearly you have no idea.
Not a bit. Not when you just excoriated that family, threw all their dirty laundry out in the front yard, and then talking about well done, good and faithful servant. Ma'am, please go have a seat. All the seats that you need to have in the court in the jailhouse, please go have them.
What
Oh
we
my
say
goodness.
all the time, I make mistakes, but God know my heart. He know what I'm trying to get to.
Right.
Maybe.
But I don't think he's even taking accountability for the things that you've done. Like, and actually say, like, you know what? I deserve to go to jail because I killed him. Like, I'm not trying to say that that's going to get you off the hook, but I think that's what should have been said. Like, yeah, I need to go to jail. Because I guarantee you, she's in her mind, she's trying to get out of this. Not let me acknowledge that I've learned something from this. Because it seemed like she's trying everything possible to get out of this still, not accept this is what my fate is because I've done this. I hope that makes sense.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's finish this up.
Any follow-up, State?
No, I assume that was the final word.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. She can return back to council's table.
Oh, that was it. Okay, cool.
Anything else from your side of the ledger, Mr. Owens?
No more witnesses, Judge, just arguments.
Okay. Anything else in rebuttal or just proceed to argument, State?
Just proceed to argument.
Okay. All right. Once Ms. Booth's seated, you can proceed with your argument, either Mr. J or Mr. Cacciatore.
All right. I'm not going to. All right, we're not going to go through this. The arguments. I guess the attorneys are going to argue why you should throw the book at her, why you shouldn't throw the book at her, so on and so forth. So, but what'd you think about that, Taylor?
I gotta watch this trial from the beginning because I need to get a full grasp of who Sara Boone is. Her.
Where that hand come from? Where that hand come from?
My hand is up here because I feel like I've only got a slice of Sara today, and I'm just judging off of just what I heard. I don't feel like I know her. Right
That's
now,
fair.
I think that sis got it's a few tools missing from the shed. But I want to get a full Sara picture. I want to get a full picture of her, so I'm gonna go back and watch.
I love it. Well, I will say this though. The judge is textbook. The judge is if you want to see like a contrast between Glanville and Whitaker, I'm sorry, this judge right here is phenomenal. Such that, watch this, let me bring it back up. Okay, so you see the judge, you see those three people sitting to his immediate left? It's like two women and a man. He's a professor in law school, and he brings his law students to sit and watch him.
Come on now.
So during court, you'll see these people kind of rotate. They'll be like different people each day, or in the morning or the afternoon. And I mean, it's really good. I have to say, he runs a very well organized, tight ship. So that might be something fun. So, but yeah, definitely check him out though. Woo. I did not think it was gonna go that bad, but Sara does not disappoint. I think you're definitely welcome to call me or text me or email me, whatever, when you actually watch it, because I bet you're gonna be like, Jason, what did I just watch? Because it's wild. It is wild.
We are absolutely gonna watch this, Taylor Gang. I know y'all in the chat. Then y'all watch it with me. I'm gonna put it on the stream list.
Okay, put on stream list, and I'll come and jump in the chat and cause chaos.
The party's not going without a little ruckus.
Oh yeah, this is a wild case, but it was actually really short though. I love that part that they were able to get this through. It was like literally a week. I want to say they started on a Monday and they were done on Thursday or early Friday, so it's very short. Whew. All right, Taylor.
Let's get it.
When are we gonna hear this? When is this YSL trial going to end?
It's gonna be over tomorrow. Tomorrow it's gonna be over, y'all.
Tomorrow. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. You know what? Let me start a poll. How many of y'all believe Taylor says this trial is going to be over tomorrow? That's Tuesday, the 3rd of December. Okay. All right. I'm going to start a poll. The 3rd of December. I don't know, friend. I don't know. Those questions today, they digging into like the weeds with these questions.
I got a 3rd of December joke that they all always remember.
Well, okay. You know that's not the song though, right?
I know.
Okay. Because actually the 3rd of September is my wife's birthday. So my father-in-law used to always play that for her every day, every year on her birthday. But no, I like the 3rd of December too. Okay. But the questions are really causing me to think that it's not going to end tomorrow. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Tell me what you're thinking.
So I think that
heal me.
The questions today, I think they want clarity, because we also have to remember that they ended with Hilton's closing arguments. However, how people may feel about it, but they ended with an argument, right? And she threw out a bunch of theories, and now they're back there with all of this circumstantial evidence, and now they're trying to piece it together. I think that they have folks back there who are truly saying like not guilty. I think they got folks out there saying guilty. And I think they're asking really good questions. If we go back to the questions that they asked last week, we started with Yak, right? We got Yak out. We wanted to see what was going on with the drug charges, the drug charges, as well as the Donovan Thomas unaliving. So today, for them to go through questions about Shannon, to me, it lets me know they're done dealing with Yak's issues, and now they're completely focused on Shannon. If we kind of look at how she laid out the indictment in the reading of the jury instructions, I think that today I was a little appalled listening to them ask about Shannon's lyrics, because we don't want them using lyrics to convict anybody. Plus, we know, like Max Sharp said, it was a whole bunch of cap in them. It was a whole cap in them songs.
Lots of cap.
But when we get to like those videos, I think those videos were really telling. And it gave them another reason to talk. And here's the thing: when you look at the jury instructions, if they have a pinch of doubt, you must acquit. It must be beyond a reasonable doubt. I mean, you want me to get into the cause? Get into the cause too.
No, I don't like the calls. I don't like the calls. And I don't like the lyrics either. I agree with you 100%. I understand what they're doing. And I don't know if you read Rap on Trial. I read Rap on Trial. I understand fully what they're doing and the errors that they're creating. And I don't think that, I even mentioned this to them. I don't think Doug and them defended it properly, because they could have done a better job of isolating the lyrics away from the current trial that they're in, if that makes sense, and really drove home the fact that this is not related to what's going on and such like that. But I don't know. I feel what you're saying. I do like how you parsed it out. First series of questions were for this defendant, this series of questions for this defendant, and they're going to probably try to wrap it up in a bow tomorrow. I can see that. I just thought they would have been done already. So I'm worried that they're still going to be wrangling come Wednesday morning, or horse trading come Wednesday morning. That's what I'm worried about. But go ahead.
I think so too. I think I've never read Rap on Trial, but I'm pro First Amendment. We all have the freedom of speech, and we should be able to exercise it, because as we know, other people can exercise it without anything happening to them. So I'm all for freedom of speech. But when you look at like those calls, I think, and I mean, let's not even go into details of the cause just yet, right? But if you look at the state's response, the panic, the unsettledness based on the questions that were asked, it lets you know how weak they feel their case is. Like, to me,
I think they know their case is weak. I think this has been the case since, pre-Woody. They knew this case was weak. when Fonnie came in there and dumped that whole box of foolishness on Adrian's desk and said, you got to try this case. They knew it was weak.
Mhm.
They just didn't know that it was going to be this bad at this stage of the game. You know, they didn't think that it was going to be this bad. And I hate to say it, I think they realized that, man, we really messed this up. We did not come out of this looking like superstars like we thought we would. We were standing up here flailing around, yelling at the jury during closing statements. So I do think that they realize that things have fallen apart. So the longer it lasts, the longer it goes on, the longer we will I think it's going to drag out, and the longer that's going to cause them anxiety, but we will see.
Yeah. I think it backfired on them too. Like I'm looking at Caspy's comment about the jury being confused. I think it backfired on them too. I don't think they expected them, because you have to think 100. We're talking about trials lasting 3, 2, 3, 4 days. We've had a trial for 160 plus days.
Mhm.
They were expecting this jury to be worn down and through at this point. They expected to say whatever they were going to say and the jury turn around and bring it back. But these jurors are back there analyzing the counts. They're going through the verbiage. They're looking at the evidence. They're doing everything that I would want them to do. Why? Because I know that the evidence sucks. I know that the case is weak. And I hope that there are some strong-minded individuals back there in that room telling everybody the same thing.
Okay.
Come on, DWC.
Well, no, I mean, I agree with you. I feel you. I just thought, okay, this is my thought process. I'm a juror, and I thought this was only going to be about 6 weeks. Now we're on week 56. Okay, we've been in here a long time.
Mm-hmm.
My lights is flickering. You know, we're coming up on Christmas. We had to have Vienna sausages for Thanksgiving, and I'm thinking they would want to get out of there sooner than later. I thought that the pressure was on them to be like, look, go ahead and give me that little decision paper so I can go ahead and check them not guilty boxes and get up out of here. But they're not. So I'm wondering, like, are they wrangling with it because they see something that maybe we didn't see? Or are they wrangling with it because they feel like this is their duty and responsibility? Because I don't think the state did a good job. So I'm like, what are y'all wrangling about? They did a horrible job. So that's my thought process. And I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking.
No, I mean, I think that too. And honestly, I thought that too. I thought they were going to go back there and before Thanksgiving, it was going to be a done deal. It's going to have a bow on it. But it's always that one person. It's somebody back there like, yep, we got this long jury form. We got to go one by one by one.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
You know, it's that person back there.
I know. Oh my gosh. So yeah, because I just don't think that. And again, I don't know. I do want to say this. I don't know if any of those men did what they're being accused of. And I said the problem is none of us know either, because the state did such a poor job of presenting their narrative. Because it should have been a simple slam dunk narrative and put the meat out there and then deck all the garnish and all the sides went around. We done started with sides. We went to the dessert. We went back to the salad. Then we're going back to the soup. And now we got bread coming out to the table. I mean, the meal is all discombobulated. So I don't know. That's why I'm like, man, y'all did a really bad job at this.
Mm-hmm.
And in my opinion, that we saw that in the closing argument, that shouldn't have taken that long. You didn't need to have 6 hours. They gave you 6 hours, but they definitely never intended for you to use it. And sadly, you used the whole thing. That's why you know it was a bad argument.
Absolutely. I agree with that as well. I think that the way that they presented the case was ridiculous. And I think it got to a point, or maybe it even started with the mission of let's just confuse them. Let's do this the way that we think we can, you know, throw enough out there for them to take the bait and eat it. I'll say that in my opinion, it just backfired. And today, you know, when we try to put ourselves in the minds of the jurors and try and understand why they're asking the questions that they're asking, we're always going to come up with a different response because we're not back there. Like today in my stream, we were going back and forth about the word rat. I felt like them calling out. I want to hear the call where Shannon says rat. or he called
Rat.
someone a
Yeah.
rat. I felt like that was significant because that one, they're using the word rat, which means that they've given the word rat, or it has some type of definition that they're tussling with back there. You know what I mean? And so we were all throwing out our different, you know, interpretations of the word rat in the comments, and it was all different. But some people were like, well, you too grown not to know what it is. You too grown not to know what it is. I can just imagine that they're back there doing the same thing. Somebody is saying, these guys, yeah, I think crimes were committed. But when you talk about this crime right here, I don't think he did it. And we shouldn't just say that he did it because this is somebody's life. You know what I mean? We got some older women on that jury who are not okay with just throwing little black boys away. They're not okay with it. I would think.
No, I agree 100%.
So they're going to be back there. Let me see that video. Play it in reverse. Slow it down. Give me 30 seconds after they leave. All right. You done with that? All right, go play that call and play this other call too with this person and that person. And then when they get told that these are the people that you think that's on the phone, well, that's irrelevant. We're going to move that on out the way. They back there moving chess pieces.
I agree. I guess in my mind, I'm thinking the question that they're asking and the evidence that they're asking for is ripe for the state to introduce something that they shouldn't have done, roll up and be like, oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry. We played the wrong tape again. Oh, we got another hashtag scenario, that kind of dumb stuff like that. And only discombine. If that happened, I would be like, see, this is exactly. Yeah. So I get your point. I get your point.
But you saw Love try to do it today, though, right?
It did, right? Yes.
She tried it today. Like she intentionally just wanted to play the call without clarifying that the boy wasn't even on it. Like, you are okay with misleading the jury. Like, you are okay with that. They said no.
And see, in my mind, I'm like, see, that's why I'm worried. If they had just gone ahead and did what I wanted them to do, which was to come back on Wednesday, we wouldn't be here today. But now they're here, and now we got more shenanigans. And I don't think they could literally roll up in here with pure Brady. Judge Whitaker's like, look, your toe is on the finish line. We're about to get over this finish line. I don't think anything's going to stop her. So they're going to just roll up with anything. And I hate it, but I get your point.
You know, and at the end of the day, two people were unalived in this, you know, for these guys, right? We got two murder charges out there, one for Donovan Thomas and one for Shamel Drinks. At the end of the day, those families deserve justice, and I don't believe that justice is being served for them. I don't believe that they got the right. They don't have the right guy, in my opinion, on the Shamel Drinks. I think that they botched the investigation from the beginning. I mean, they just don't have it. And when it comes to Donovan Thomas, you guys just don't have enough evidence. You don't have enough to support it. And I mean, the leads that you had, I don't feel like you did the investigation well enough to nail down maybe who you should have nailed down.
No, I think that's very true. And to that point, I think the fact that the investigation seems to really have been muddled up. Lots of errors, lots of problems there. Now, again, it seemed like you had somebody in mind and you just ran with that. Say, hey, we want Taylor Umbridge. This is who we're looking for. How can we cobble this together so we can get Taylor Umbridge in the mix? Now, again, I'm not saying that they didn't do it. I'm not saying these guys are choir boys. Not saying that they were perfect. What I am saying is I don't think that this is justice for the Drinks or for the Thomas family either, because I don't believe these men are the ones that did it.
Absolutely.
And I don't think they believe it either. I don't think the state believes that this is it. I mean, just the way that they presented it, it just doesn't seem like you believe it. I do believe that Max Shard does not believe that his client did it. I do believe that Doug Weinstein doesn't believe that his client did it. I don't think Simone and Adrian, Christian, and Abatis, I don't think they believe that these men did it. I think they're just trying to find a way to say that these men did it and get the 12 jurors to agree with them.
Absolutely. The charge comes from the top. The boss said this is the case that we try, and all those people that you name have a job to do. Whether they 100% agree with it or not, this is the case that's on their desk that they have to present to the jurors, and they want to do, the best that they can. I'm all about doing your job, but do your job ethically. 2, don't disgrace yourself or anybody else.
Right.
And 3, if you, and I know it wasn't much that they could do about it, but when y'all did those plea negotiations, y'all should have did a little bit better. Okay. Y'all should
A
have
little bit.
knocked Fonny off that horse
Right.
and told her to come to her senses and do what's right. You know what I mean? If it's really about justice, and I think that's the reason why everybody is so enraged, because we're not seeing justice be served.
And I think also because I live here in Atlanta, I think we've realized that a lot of what you're saying isn't true. A lot of what you're saying as relates to the impact that this quote unquote gang had on Atlanta is not true. Now, is there a gang problem? I think we can definitely have that discussion. And I think that's a reasonable one to have. But this one isn't changing. This isn't moving the needle as much as you want to make it sound. So the next group of people is really not going to move the needle anymore. And then, like, when the smoke clears, we've spent multiple years, multiple millions of dollars in time wasted that could have maybe been moving the needle, but I don't think this is going to do what they're aiming for it to do and how they're selling it. And we know that Fonny, I already know that Fonny's already talking about her conviction rate, and it's unfortunate, but
Absolutely. And she's got the next set of guys lined up. We're going to listen to their hearing tomorrow. I think it's still another 11 that has to go through this as well. And a couple of them in that group are charged with the same unalivements. And so we're going to have to watch this replay out, see how they put the story together next time. And then compare the two, because like everybody is saying, this first trial is definitely going to be a case study. We're going to see how this next one goes.
And I would love to see, because in my opinion, I'm fascinated with how poor this trial has been run. Now, I'm sure there are other bad trials around the United States, probably multiple as bad as this one. But it just seems like because this was front and center, because again, it's down the street, around the corner from my house, and it's global, which I don't think a bad trial in Missouri is in people in the Philippines are talking about it. I don't think a bad trial that's running around in Naperville, Illinois, people in Australia are tapping in to watch. That's craziness. And so the fact that it's run so poorly, I really think there's a college course being written about this. That's all I can say. There's going to be a college course written about how bad this case is.
Absolutely. And when I get to college, I'll let everybody know.
Please let us know.
Brought it up.
Please let us know. I do want to say thank you real quick. I want to say thank you to Demo 360, man. Dropped the 5. He said, "Don't mention God now." This is talking about Sara Boone. He didn't help you zip that suitcase. Thank you so much for the 5-piece, and you are 100% correct. And he also said she planned this all the way. She was fed up. He gave her an opportunity, and she took it.
Okay,
I agree. She just didn't have to leave him in the suitcase. That's it. If she just left that thing a little bit unzipped, she still could have gotten the car zipped off to the police station and been safe. And called the police and told them where he was, been good to go. But nope. That's where the problem is. So thank you so much for that, 360. I appreciate, man, for the support of the channel. All right, Taylor Umbridge, please, thank you. And thank your crew, what'd you call them? The Umbridge, what's it called?
Taylor Gang.
Taylor Gang. Thank you, Taylor Gang, for stopping through on this evening. I appreciate it. I'm sorry for traumatizing you with Sara Boone, because you didn't. I really thought you had known. I was like, man, when I text you, I was like, hey, we're gonna be doing the Sara Boone. I just knew that you knew about it, but oh my gosh.
I mean, I scratched the surface, but now I am intrigued, and I'm gonna go back. Taylor Gang, we're gonna watch it together. I gotta figure this thing out. I'm gonna have to come back once I'm done and give you my full blown.
We will be right here. But it's my fault, y'all. Taylor Gang, I apologize. I'm gonna traumatize you and your gang leader. I apologize, because man, y'all are gonna be traumatized. I'm gonna tell you, if you haven't watched this thing, it's gonna be traumatizing. But okay, so let me see the poll. Hold on real quick. The poll was, when is the jury coming back? All right, 38% said it coming back tomorrow, Tuesday. So Taylor, all right, 15 for Wednesday, 24 for Thursday. And I did throw What You Mean in there too. So that one's got 24 as well. So, okay, Taylor. Okay. Everybody's seem to side with you. I'm a ride with you, Taylor.
I mean, we on Verdict Watch tomorrow. I mean, what else could they possibly have a question about at this point? Oh, did y'all say Rico for last? Because I thought the questions were going to come back on Rico. I thought the M's were open and shut. I thought it was going to be Rico. So what other question could they come back with? The thumper charge, I think it's self-explanatory on Shannon's end. The drugs, I thought it was self-explanatory on Yak's end. So I don't think they have anything else to question y'all. So Taylor gang, if you're in the chat, make sure you following Dear Woke, okay? Follow my boy.
I'm just trying to think. Okay. I'm finding it interesting also that most of the questions that have come up have been questions, and have you noticed that they're all been post Jeffrey Williams plea deal? There haven't been a lot of discussion about things that, well, maybe about the car, but not much has been before the plea deals. Or am I seeing that wrong? Do you see that, or am I hallucinating?
No, I think that the case has been trimmed down to focus on Shannon and Yak. And so a lot of the stuff that kind of occurred, I don't really think that they care about it. They're looking at and I think that question about the call when they had Shannon and Boyer mixed up was telling, because they want to know, what did these guys particularly do? You know what I mean? And so the stuff about Thug, I think that it comes into play. Of course, because they're going to remember this was the Young Thug trial. But I think that they're more focused on them as individuals and the role that they play in this organization.
I got you. I'm just worried that, well, one, I feel like it almost seems like the last 130 plus days have been wasted.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I just hate it. But we will see. We're gonna be on watch tomorrow for sure. Everybody, do me a favor, if you could. Here is Taylor's YouTube channel. I don't know if the mods had dropped it in there earlier or not. If they did, I apologize. I don't actually see a mod. I see a few. I'm putting it right here. If y'all could do me a favor, she has a video on here on her channel. Oh, she's talking about you talking about Drake and Pliles and all them. Can y'all please go to that video and just bum rush it and make sure that you like it and subscribe to her channel? She currently has 2,480 subscribers. How great would it be for her to hit 3,000 by tomorrow? Wouldn't that be amazing? So could y'all, if you like her content, that way at least she feels kind of guilty that she's got to come back, even though I traumatized her with the Sara Boone case. So at least she's gonna feel like a little like obligated to come back, because it's always good when I have a great co-host running over here with some good information and good knowledge. So do that for me. Help a brother out.
Absolutely. I'm coming back every time you hit up. I just got to make sure I double check my calendar, because I know we had a mishap. I forgot all about Mariah Carey. I'm sorry.
oh, that's right. She was supposed to be here Friday, y'all. Remember I told you I was going to have a guest on Friday? Who do you think got stood up for Mariah Carey? Who do you think it was? Yeah, boy. I got stood up. Was the concert good?
It was nice. It was a Christmas concert. I wasn't expecting her to do as much of her Christmas catalog at a Christmas concert, but hey, I had a good time.
My daughter would have a fit. My big girl would have a fit about that. She loves Mariah Carey's Christmas. So yeah, she would have enjoyed that. That's cool. Well, good. But Taylor, thank you so much for coming through tonight. I'm glad that we were able to do this. Hopefully the family will I am on TikTok. Let me real quick. I gotta look it up, but I think this is it. Yeah, Dear Woke Christian YT. I think. Do you put at? Is that what you do? You put at? I think I should have put at. Yeah, Dear Woke Christian YT. On TikTok. I'm not the best on TikTok though. I'm gonna try to be cool like Taylor over here running the table on TikTok. I'm gonna try my best, but
No,
Is that,
I don't think you got a Y. You got a couple of pages on there.
oh no.
Did
Don't tell
somebody
nobody.
have you been cloned?
No, I think I have two because I forgot my password one time.
Okay, we're gonna have to run you up on TikTok, okay?
I got it here. I just found it. Stop talking about me.
My boy
I'm
got
old.
180 followers. We definitely got to get you to the thou wows.
Okay, give me to the 1,000. Give me to the 1,000. Okay, that is the proper one. This is the proper one right here. All right, that's the proper one. But Chris, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming through. Now, tomorrow's Tuesday. If the verdict comes out tomorrow, we're gonna talk about it.
You got me.
Okay, we're gonna do this tomorrow. So let's now. If it comes out Wednesday, I can do it Wednesday too. So either way, but okay, you got me. I'm putting my chips on Tuesday. I already told you I went broke this weekend already. So now I'm double broke. Everybody, I want to thank y'all so much for hanging out with us tonight. I appreciate it again, Taylor. Thank you so much, Taylor gang. I appreciate you jumping in. You are all co-conspirators to the best live chat on the internet. So y'all are always welcome. Come on over here whenever and cause chaos. We're gonna probably jump over there and whenever. Taylor, send me an invite. We can watch some Sara Boone trial shenanigans. I promise you are not ready for that. You are not prepared. So that means you haven't seen her handwritten motions. Oh my goodness.
We started.
You are not ready for the. She wrote her motions to the judge, and they are a sight to behold.
I can't wait.
Yeah, you're gonna do it. So I want to say thank you so much, everybody, and thank you again for hanging out with us. Let's get ready to do this again. Well, I guess we'll do it again tomorrow. So until then, everybody, take care. Grace and peace. See you soon.
See ya. Free the jury.
Free the jury.